Right now, a massive weather pattern shift is about to slam the entire United States with up to 8 feet of snow in the mountains, 70-degree heat in Minnesota in mid-February, and a severe weather outbreak that could spawn tornadoes from Texas to Tennessee. We're not talking about one storm, we're talking about a whole train of them rolling off the Pacific, back to back, for the next 2 weeks straight. And here's the thing that's honestly wild. Some parts of the country are about to shatter heat records by 40 to 45 degrees above normal, while other areas get buried under feet of snow at the exact same time. So today, I'm going to break down every single thing you need to know where the snow is hitting, where the severe weather is headed, and which cities need to be paying close attention right now. And stick around, because toward the end, I'll tell you why this snow is actually a huge deal, beyond just skiing. We're talking about a real water crisis that's developing out west. All right, so let's start with what's driving all of this, because the temperature setup across the country right now is absolutely bonkers. We've got this massive dome of warm air parked across the Great Plains and the Midwest, and at the same time, cold air is filtering down the East Coast behind a low pressure system that just pushed through the Northeast. So if you're in New York, Philly, or anywhere along the I-95 corridor, you're feeling that chill today and tomorrow, but don't get used to it. Meanwhile, out in the plains, temperatures are running 20 to 30 degrees above average, and it's only going to get crazier from here. By Thursday and Friday, moisture starts pouring out of the Pacific, and that's going to push some colder air into the Rockies. Great news for snow lovers out in Denver, Salt Lake City, and the Sierra Nevada. But east of the Rockies, that warm air just keeps building and building. By early next week, we could be looking at highs in the low 70s as far north as Minneapolis in the middle of February. Y'all, let that sink in for a second. 70 degrees in Minnesota when they should be dealing with below zero wind chills. Omaha could hit the mid-60s on Monday, and down in places like Oklahoma City, Dallas, and Little Rock. We're talking mid to upper 70s, maybe even flirting with 80. If you didn't know the date, and I just showed you this temperature map, you'd swear it was late March or early April. It looks nothing like February. Okay, so now let's get into the storms themselves. And we're going to start out west because this is where the action kicks off first. As of today, heavy snow and rain are already falling across the Rockies and the West Coast. And this is just the appetizer. A powerful atmospheric river is setting up, and it's going to be a fire hose of moisture aimed directly at the mountains for the next 7 to 10 days. We're talking about a legit snow bomb, 80 to 120 inches of snow across the Sierra Nevada and the Cascades, with feet of accumulation in Idaho, western Montana, and the higher elevations of Colorado. If you're in Lake Tahoe, Mammoth, or any of those Rockies ski towns, this is the dump you've been waiting for all season. And honestly, it couldn't come at a better time. Snowpack levels across the west are at record lows right now. And that's not just a skiing problem. That snowpack feeds rivers and reservoirs all summer long. So if we don't get this kind of snow, we're looking at serious water shortage issues heading into spring and summer. So yeah, this is genuinely great news for the entire western United States. Let's hope it keeps coming. Now here's where it gets intense as all that Pacific moisture pushes east. It's going to collide with that crazy warm air sitting over the plains. And that's a recipe for severe weather. The timeline starts Friday, when a small storm system organizes just west of Texas. If you're out near Midland or the Permian Basin area, keep your eyes on the sky. Friday afternoon, we're looking at a low-end threat for large hail and maybe a brief tornado. But Saturday is the day I'm really watching closely. By Saturday afternoon, that system organizes into something much bigger. And the combination of Gulf moisture, strong wind shear, and all that instability from the warm air could light things up across the southern plains and the deep south. We're talking about a threat zone stretching from Dallas-Fort Worth through Shreveport, Little Rock, and up toward Memphis, damaging winds, large hail, and yes, the possibility of tornadoes. Now, I gotta be straight with you, this setup has a pretty wide range of outcomes right now. The ceiling on this thing is a significant severe weather event with some strong tornadoes. But the floor is pretty low too, where not a whole lot ends up happening. It's really going to come down to timing. Whether the storm system lines up with peak instability in the afternoon, or if it arrives too early when the atmosphere hasn't had a chance to cook yet. Either way, if you're anywhere from Central Texas to Mississippi, just stay weather aware this weekend, especially Saturday afternoon into the evening hours. And for folks in Houston and San Antonio, you're on the southern edge of this setup. You'll probably see some heavy rain. But the worst severe threat looks like it stays a bit further north for now. By Sunday, the storm keeps trucking east, and places like Nashville, Birmingham, Atlanta, and maybe even northern Florida need to be on alert for damaging winds and a possible tornado or two. Now, for my East Coast folks who've been watching all this like, what about us? I got something for you too. As this storm system moves offshore, Sunday into Monday, some models are showing it could intensify and throw snow back into the Northeast. We're talking about a possible winter storm for areas like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, and maybe even into southern New England. Now here's the catch. Not all the models agree on this, and some don't show it happening at all. It's gonna depend entirely on where that low pressure tracks and how quickly it bombs out if it hooks a little more to the north and northeast. Places like Philly, the Jersey Shore, and the DC metro area could wake up to a real snowstorm Monday morning. It's too early to call this a sure thing, but if you're in that region, just keep it on your radar. We should have a much clearer picture by Thursday or Friday. And folks, this is where it gets really crazy, because we are not done, not even close. By early next week, another potent atmospheric river event fires up along the West Coast, bringing even more heavy mountain snow Monday and Tuesday. At the same time, a significant low pressure system is expected to develop over California and then track into the northern plains and the Midwest by Tuesday and Wednesday. That storm could bring snow, potentially some freezing rain, and with temperatures running as warm as they are up north, we honestly can't even rule out severe thunderstorms in places that almost never see them in February. Think about that severe storms potentially as far north as Iowa or Minnesota in the middle of winter. That is just unheard of. And then looking even further out, toward the last week of February, the pattern suggests we'll finally start to see some Arctic air trying to push back into the US. That could open the door for winter storms further south and a much more traditional February pattern. But it's still too far out to pin down the details. Bottom line, the next 2 weeks are going to be anything but boring across the entire country. All right, so let me do a quick rundown of what you should be watching for based on where you live. If you're in the Mountain West Denver, Salt Lake, Boise, Tahoe, get ready for a snow bonanza over the next 10 days. This is the real deal. Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Shreveport, Little Rock. Severe weather Saturday is your main concern. Stay plugged in. Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, Atlanta. Sunday into Monday is your window. Keep an eye on those storms moving east. Philly, Jersey, DC, Baltimore, possible snow. Sunday night into Monday. We'll know more in a few days. And for the upper Midwest, Minneapolis, Omaha, Des Moines, enjoy that insane warmth early next week. But watch for a potentially strong storm system moving through by midweek. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop your city in the comments and let me know what kind of weather you're hoping for or what you're most concerned about. Are you team snow, team warmth, or are you just hoping nothing severe rolls through your area this weekend? Look, I know this is a lot to take in, so let me leave you with the big picture. After weeks of basically nothing happening weather-wise across most of the country, the pattern is flipping hard. Multiple storms, severe weather threats, record-breaking heat, and a much-needed snow dump out west all at the same time. This is the kind of setup that keeps meteorologists up at night, and I'll be updating you every single day as these storms get closer and the details sharpen up. If this video helped you understand what's coming, smash that like button and share it with someone who lives in one of these areas. They'll thank you later. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.